Good morning. Most people, camera's off today. Okay, we go with it. Most people will never experience real power. You know why? Because they don't even know what it looks like. Because they are asleep when it is being built. So that's right. You already know. If you're here with me at 4 a.m., you're already ahead. Quick question. The system is moving. Are you moving with it? Welcome to Epoch 1, day 80. 80 days in. If you've been moving with me from the beginning, you already know. We are not playing the same game as the crowd. Most people, they wake up hoping today we will be different. We wake up knowing we are different. That is why today we're talking about one of the biggest reasons people never break through. It is called the execution paradox. Why success feels like failure at first. Most people quit success before they ever touch it. You know why? Because real success doesn't feel like what they thought it would. They expect a red carpet, instant wins, validation, and momentum. But reality, the first stage of success feels like punishment. Because at first, it looks just like failure. Let me break your brain real quick. If you start waking up early, your body feels worse before it feels better. If you start hitting the gym, your muscles hurt before they grow. If you start a business, you lose money before you make it. If you cut weak people off, you feel lonely before you feel powerful. Success does not come with a trophy first. It comes with withdrawal. Your old life, it will punish and pummel you for trying to leave. Why? Because it's all you've known. And most people, they take that as a sign to stop. Let's get into the concept overview. The execution paradox. Why winning feels like losing first. The system. The system punishes outliers before rewarding them. And the minute you step out of what's normal, you are now an outlier. Before the rewards come, you will experience resistance, doubt, and isolation. Growth doesn't look like growth, it looks like destruction first. If you cannot endure the phase where everything feels like it is breaking, you'll never reach the part where it locks in. Your brain rebels. Your mind is wired for safety. And anything new is unsafe. So it panics when you introduce change. Your body fights back. Your body is addicted to old patterns, so it resists at first. Your environment turns hostile. People around you, they feel threatened. So they subconsciously sabotage you. Energy is real. Your results are invisible. In the beginning, nothing looks like it's working. This is why most people never build momentum. They mistake temporary resistance for permanent failure and they quit right before the shift. And if you're out there and you've ever tried to make a change but couldn't quite figure out why there was so much pain, think about what we just said. I got a visual metaphor for you. Immerse yourself. Apply it. Think it. Feel it. Imagine a plane taking off. The first few seconds, the engine is screaming. The plane is fighting against gravity. It's burning a massive amount of fuel just to get off the ground. But the moment it lifts, the higher it climbs, the easier it moves. And at cruising altitude, the resistance is gone. This is success. The first 80% of the fuel gets used in the first 20% of the journey. Most people quit while they're still on the runway. Don't stop giving yourself a chance. The guarantee is if you stop and quit, nothing will happen. Let me give you personal perspective. Real experience, no theory. There's a reality I learned about transition. The shift from feeling to thought to execution. Everything I've ever executed on, consciously or unconsciously, has made me successful. Even my worst habits, even my most destructive patterns. Because success is just consistency. I told you about my professional drinking. I was a successful professional drinker. Imagine that. You think you're failing? No. You're just successful at running the system you built, even if that system is working against you. Hear me. Unsuccessful habits still create successful lifestyles. Unsuccessful habits still create successful lifestyles because mind, body, and spirit always align to whatever you consistently execute on. And here's the real killer. The moment you try to break that success pattern, it will feel like you are breaking yourself. The minute you become conscious of what you are doing, you realize how little power you have over it. You feel the full weight of your limitations because your conscious mind is weak in comparison to your subconscious mastery. Your subconscious has been running the system for years, and it will continue to run the system. That is its job. Now you're trying to take control with a mind that has 0 repetitions in this new framework. Anything you do new hurts. The expert versus the novice reality. You're an expert at staying where you are, even if it sucks. You're a master at your current patterns, even if they're killing you. You don't have to think about them. They run automatically. But now, after all these years, it could be decades. You've missed decades. Now you're trying to force consciousness into the equation. All of a sudden, you're aware. I want this new me. And the second you do that, you are now a novice. You become a novice. At best, you are a beginner at what you are trying to do. If you're like, oh God, he is now root, I want to change how I pray. If you change how you pray, you're a novice at prayer. You just started doing it. It's new. If you change how you work out, you're a novice at movement. Even if years ago, you bask in the glory of your eliteness. I used to be. You no longer are. If you change your discipline, your mentality, your execution, guess what? You are at square one, ground zero. this this is where most people break, because the gap between where they are and where they are going is so big. And it is big. They can't handle the friction. Here's a little more visual stimulus to give you to consider. Imagine a world-class boxer who hasn't trained in a decade. He steps back in the ring, and in his mind, he still thinks, I'm that guy. But the first punch he throws, he feels slow. His footwork is clumsy. He's gassed in the first round. He is not that guy anymore. Not yet. And most people quit at this moment because they, can't accept being a novice again. It feels uncomfortable. No one likes the feeling of not feeling good at doing something. There's an emotional maturation that comes here, right? Most people chase instant results. They quit before they get good because they don't know how to reframe progress. You have to become emotionally satisfied with the process. Cliche, not just the outcome. The illusion of success, it is just persistence over time, unrelenting will and faith. The reality of failure, it's just quitting before momentum kicks in. Why do you think faith, honor, and loyalty must be locked in? Because the minute I installed God, faith, honor, and loyalty, my destination is already secured. I don't sell you overnight. It doesn't happen overnight, but the outcome is inevitable because my foundation is unshakable. Let's check the chat. This is so important and imperative to anything, because the reality, I was journaling a lot last night, and here's the truth. I don't believe that you can ever stop growing, in the way that there's always something new to experience. And the more you create newness in your life, the more friction that awaits you, and you will stretch the boundaries of what can be new. If you immerse yourself in God as root and faith, the possibilities for your connection to God are infinite. Why? I'm tapping into the infinite. In that way, just as soon as I believe, I'm aligned with God, guess what? God might have a new message, a new plan, a new vision. And the minute I see it, more friction. If not for anything other than I got to decide, do I just stay here? Because once you realize that you limit yourself and it is you who are staying, the pain of deciding, I could push a little more, becomes harder as you attain more. Hear what I'm saying? Once you open yourself up to becoming a creator, you can create literally at all times. And so in that way, this process of becoming a novice never ends, because once you reach mastery at a level, you just raise your level. So you will always be in that paradoxical shift of, great, I identified a vision, I attacked it, I worked towards it, I accomplished it. Now what? You go harder. But if you can master the reality that you will always go from leveled success to new novice entry into another level of success, your system creation possibilities are endless. Trust and have faith. That's all I'm going to say. Or not. You are anyway. You are having trust and faith anyway in a direction. It's just a matter of, did you create that direction or was it created for you? There's much less friction in avoiding this. Absolutely. I assure you, I say this. I don't believe it's for everybody. It can't be. Otherwise, how would we know from a basic foundational principle. But also, it's painful. Do you want to subscribe to the constant pain of creation? This is not a hype machine. This is not a get quick fix scheme or theme. I am applying what a lifestyle. This is all the time. There is no escaping. Once you become creator, you cannot escape the power of constant creation. It will haunt you. It will push you. It will test you. And if you decide at any juncture to say, nah, I'm going to throw in the towel, you'll have pain that is indescribable. And if you think the realization of lost time is powerful now, imagine losing time when you come to the realization that I can awaken, I can create. I am God in a lot of ways. In a lot of ways, I am in the image of creator. And so in that way, I have full authority, autonomy. Once you come to the realization that I am it and everything and I can create at all times, you decide to go back from that. I dare you. The pain is immense. Let's go into some visual stimuli and continue the story process. Let's talk about the blacksmith's fire. The blacksmith's fire, God's testing ground. There once was a blacksmith known for forging the strongest steel in the kingdom. His weapons never broke, his tools never cracked, his armor never bent. One day, a young apprentice asked him, "Why do you put the metal through so much fire? Why beat it so hard? Why not just shape it gently?" The blacksmith smiled and held up a perfect blade, because steel that isn't tested is steel that cannot be trusted. The blacksmith smiled, held up the blade, and said, I repeat, because steel that isn't tested is steel that cannot be trusted. If I do not put it through the fire, it remains weak. If I don't hammer it, it remains soft. If I don't cool it suddenly, it remains fragile. Only the steel that survives the fire becomes unbreakable. Ooh. Most people think hardship means God is against them. Most people think resistance means they're on the wrong path. But God, source, root, God does not trust untested steel. You want strength, then you must be put through the fire. You want wisdom, then you must be hammered into shape. You want power, then you must be cooled and hardened by the struggle. Without the fire, you remain weak. Without the process, you remain fragile. Without the test, you cannot be trusted. God puts his strongest warriors through the hardest battles, because only the refined can be relied upon. So when you feel the fire, don't pray for it to end. Pray for the strength to endure it. You're already burning. The Stoics had a saying, the obstacle is the way. Meaning, the fire isn't your enemy, it is your transformation. God's hammers aren't breaking you, they are shaping you. God's flames aren't burning you, they're refining you. God's process isn't punishment, it is preparation. Oh, I got an alert that OBS disconnected. We'll keep moving in faith. Let's talk about the 3 system shifts: self, faith, and network. Self system, the battle for control. Every action rewires identity. The fight isn't outside you, it's internal. Faith system. The test before trust. True faith means moving before proof. It means execute without seeing results yet. And then the network system, the purge of comfort. As you upgrade, your old environment will fight to pull you back. Let's get into 3 levels of system separation: self, faith, and network. For yourself, can you handle success feeling like failure? Can you handle success feeling like failure? Will you keep executing when there's no proof? Will you move without motivation? Will you trust the process even when it is brutal? Faith. Do you actually trust God's plan? Will you stand firm when the rewards aren't instant or even in sight? Will you keep moving when your prayers aren't answered yet? Will you understand that patience is part of power? Network. Can you handle the isolation phase? Will you accept that people won't get it at first? Will you stop waiting for applause before you execute? Will you stand on your own until the right people come? Success is just failure you survived long enough to outlast. There are consequences. Let's talk about the consequences of inaction. There is an undeniable cost to self, spirit, and network. If you don't understand the execution paradox, you will self-delete. You want some self-consequences. You'll become proof that hesitation kills. You'll quit early. You'll see resistance and mistake it for a sign to stop. You'll look for shortcuts. You'll waste years chasing hacks instead of mastery. You'll go back to comfort. You'll tell yourself it wasn't meant to be when you were just too weak to finish. And once you do that, your brain, your consciousness remembers. And every time you try again, because you will try again, your own mind will remind you that you are a quitter. Spirit consequence. You will reject God's test and stay trapped. You'll mistake silence for abandonment. God is waiting to see if you can endure, but you'll take his patience as neglect. You'll miss the lesson. You'll pray for success, but reject the very process that builds it. You'll curse the process instead of trusting it. You will resent the struggle instead of realizing it was your refinement. The student who drops out of the test, they never graduate. There are consequences. Network consequence. You will stay surrounded by maintainers. Watch this. Watch this. You'll keep people around who validate your excuses. You need validation anyway. You'll stay in circles where nobody is moving. You'll never attract the real killers, the people who respect execution and only respect execution. You know what happens then? Your network becomes your prison. You'll be stuck in a loop where failure is normalized and greatness is laughed at. You either break through or break yourself. You either break through or break yourself. There are consequences. Success is just failure you survived long enough to outlast. Either you pass the test or you get left behind. This is your life. Let's check the chat. There are consequences. We cannot continue to move around presuming there are no consequences. The deepest consequence is the unrealization that you aren't living a consequenced life, that there aren't repercussions for staying as is. If for no other reason, then nothing changes if nothing changes. Cliche. But we overlook these things as we recreate the friction we have in our systems. And then the audacity and the audaciousness to question, really unintelligently at that point, why this keeps occurring. There's never root cause analysis that the reality is at your root, this has always been. You are still teaching yourself, if even it's the same material. Whatever system you've created today, if it lacks evolution, if it lacks growth, it is just a repetitive cycle. This is how we manifest generational curses. This is how we fall blissfully ignorant. There isn't a human alive that has consciousness that has evolved the way our brains and our power and our resources have evolved that doesn't come to the thought and awareness of, what could I do to be the best I could possibly be? Everybody wants to be the king or the queen. There isn't anyone, when presented with the opportunity to say, what is the best possible outcome for your life? I wouldn't say, I want the best possible outcome for our lives. Yet in that way, a fraction of us attain it. If for no other reason, then it feels hard when you make the shift. And so the consequence is nothing changes. If that's not deep enough to hit for you, that's fine. It won't, because you'll just keep staying as is. But I got you. I always got you. Let's get into how to take ownership. Self, spirit, and network fixes. The self fix. We need to build immunity to discouragement. Success is a delayed reward system. Stop looking for instant proof. The only thing you measure, very simple. Ask yourself, did you execute today? So here's the new rule. Execute, walk away, repeat. This is so powerful. Execute, walk away, repeat. Don't judge, don't condemn, don't measure wins and losses. Did I execute? Good. Walk away from it. Repeat it. Do that until you don't have to think about it anymore. Do it for yourself. Spirit fix. Trust God's process over your timeline. God doesn't rush. He refines. Give me a second. I apologize for that. We're on the spirit fix. God doesn't rush. He refines. If you quit in the process, you reject the blessing. Stop praying for results while dodging the test. Here's the new rule. Move on faith, not feelings. How many more times can I say it? Move on faith, not feelings. When you move on faith, when you move towards what only you can see, the feelings sort themselves out later. And the specificity with which you need to move begins to reveal itself. All you know with faith is to move. It is somewhat unintelligent in that way. It is pure action towards belief. And when you believe, God will not leave you hanging. Paths will open up, bridges will start to be built, people will start to reveal themselves. You just have to go through this awkward phase. It's an awkward phase. It is. But you can't stop. You persist and persevere, right? Network fix. Stop needing validation. Your real network won't arrive until you earn it. If you need people to approve, you're already weak. If you need instant results, you're already lost. So here's the new rule. Build so undeniably that even your haters and doubters have to respect it. They will. You either take ownership or you take a loss. You either take ownership or you take a loss. It's so popular to say in this space, stack wins, stack wins, stack wins. If you're not stacking wins, you're stacking losses. And eventually, one will outweigh the other. Stack more wins than you stack more losses. Here's a daily challenge. Audit, take control, report back. Here's today's war mode challenge. Audit. Where is the paradox hitting you? Look at one area of your life where success feels like failure right now. Are you executing but seeing no results? Are you making moves but feeling resistance? Are you cutting people off but feeling lonely instead of powerful? Identify where the execution paradox is trying to break you. It is a test of your will. Take control. You got to take control. It's your life. You already have more control than you realize. Dominate the resistance. Pick one thing today. Can't solve life in a day, but pick one thing that you will execute without emotion. Post content, don't check views. Hit the gym, don't look at the scale. Make a move, don't wait for praise. Just execute, walk away, repeat. Execute, walk away, repeat. Force yourself through the paradox. Report back. I've been seeing some in the comments lately. Makes me feel good. Makes me feel like the movement is moving. So come back and document the move. What did you execute? How did it feel to move without waiting for validation? Did you break through the resistance or let it stop you? Be real. The system demands proof. Execute or be erased. The execution paradox. Do not let it fracture you. Do not let it break you. The fire. The fire isn't your enemy. It is your transformation. You either let it shape you or you let it break you. God only trusts the steel that survives the fire. Own the system or be erased by it. You either run the system or the system runs you. Change your mind, change your life. I am who I say I am. Do you and stay rich. Now move. The system waits for no one. You weren't expecting that. Ooh!